Cutter's Degrassi Unpopular Opinions. Hey there, Heather, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome you to another Degrassi Unpopular Opinion slash hot take. And this is basically unpopular opinion slash hot take to do with season 5's snake eating on Spike with Hatzalakos. So let's give proper context. In season 5, Snake for some reason has a midlife crisis, so he decides to buy a motorcycle without Spike's approval. And then all of a sudden, you got yourself the fact that Snake sees Hatzalakos driving a motorbike too, because she's a big motorbike enthusiast. And so basically, Snake grows attached to Hatzalakos and motorcycles, in a sense. So basically, they get a little friendly towards each other. And of course, Spike feels something's fishy. In the premiere of James Silent Bob Go Canadian, Snake ends up kissing Hatzalakos, and Emma finds out about it. Emma is conflicted what to do, so she tries to do the right thing and tells Spike about it. Spike throws Snake out, rightfully so. I mean, even though it's an innocent kiss, it's just terrible. What type of example you're setting? And basically, Spike also said that this is also because you're trying to force Emma to keep quiet. In the meantime, after Snake goes to live with Joey, Spike is losing control. Emma and Manny, who was living with Emma at the time, try to fix things up, especially Emma, trying to keep the family together. I mean, she's doing her best to keep everything together. She basically tells Snake he needs to make a good gesture to get Spike back, which he does at the mall. Spike feels great about herself, and things are back together. And Emma feels good about herself. Despite that, Emma still has her eating disorder, which is also triggered by Peter, by keeping the secret that she's with Peter. I don't know why, because I mean, Peter did hurt Manny, her best friend. But of course, I'll get more into that later. Anyhow, so Emma still has the eating disorder and still has problems dealing with it. Even though that she fixed the problem, she still can't work everything out. So of course Emma has her panic attack and is in the hospital. That Snake sells the bike and gets tickets to New York for the family. And Snake and Spike are back together. They still have relationship issues in season 7 after Snake got falsely accused by Darcy about things. And basically Snake was cleared, but Snake couldn't go back to school because Lakehurst made his life hell, and Spike didn't understand everything. And Spike says that don't let Emma get control because she had an eating disorder last I checked. It's like, that's an insult. I just wish that Emma had gone to Spike or even slapped her. It would have been nice to see. But anyway, yeah. The whole point is, why the heck did they have to have Snake cheat on Spike? It doesn't make sense. Snake is not that type of character. Snake was a wholesome character, even in the Degrassi junior high and high days. I mean, yeah, he didn't get many pushes for storylines, but he still was a decent guy. And then when he came back in Next Gen, he was good as a media teacher. He had to deal with students and their issues. He had to deal with Emma not being happy that he was with her mom. I mean, Emma was probably just embarrassed that her teacher's dating her mom, and what would that do for her social life and her personal life, like in school? But then again, Snake ended up getting leukemia in season 3 and beat that in remission. Well, he beat that because it was never mentioned again, or probably just wasn't. Season 4, he had to deal with the fact that his ally, Principal Radish, screwed up the whole Rick situation. I mean, Rick was going to do something bad anyway, but by the fact that Radish avoiding Rick is one thing, but I think Radish avoiding the pleas of the students before this was like that episode also led to trouble, and I think that's things. And I feel like Snake probably told the school board, if he had testified, that Raj is a terrible person, and Raj, I think, figured that he lost his biggest ally, which was Snake, so he was done for. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense with Snake and all that. Why would he be the one to cheat on Spike? I mean, Snake and Spike had a decent relationship, but why? Just to push Emma's descent into ditziness? Possibly. Now, I keep saying this in a lot of unpopular opinions, but Emma, well, the eating disorder was because of the whole thing with Spike and Snake, and of course keeping the secret that she's with Peter, even though that she should never have been with Peter in the first place. But that's not all. It's possible that her eating disorder also had ramifications about the Rick Murray situation. Now, it is common knowledge that Mary McDonald, the person who played played Emma, had an eating disorder for the first few seasons and just beat one. And then they put an eating disorder thing for season 5 for her. I don't know. But to me, I feel like Emma, like this was one of the triggers of Emma's eating disorder about Spike and Snake, and not having a good stable home life and all that. That's fair. Lots of characters like Anya and Maya had that too. But the fact of the matter is that, as I keep saying, Emma's problems may have also had ramifications from the Rick situation. I mean, after all, she had a gun pointed at her. She could have died because of Rick thinking that Emma was in love with him, but she was just pitying him. Sean saved her life, and then Sean leaves for Wasaga Beach. Emma feels alone. She doesn't pursue a boy in season 4, but by season 5, she pursues Peter and pushes off Peter when he hurt Manny. Although Emma thought at first that Manny was trying to steal her man. But I mean, having a gun pointed at you. And Emma, I don't think she had the Rick situation properly diagnosed and properly fixed. I mean, she had that gonorrhea thing and all that. And with people shunning her, it snapped her out of her funk. And she realized that she was a terrible person and maybe told people that she didn't deserve praise because, she let Rick along and she wanted to get rid of him. I mean, I think Snake and Spike would have been understanding because, after all, Raditch didn't help the students out. And Raditch, I think, had a grudge against Emma because of the whole your stupid campaigns and all that. Like, I think that because of the eating of the GMO foods thing from season 2, he was upset that Emma was trying to undermine his authority, and that led to the downfall. And I bet if that fact came out to Snake, I don't think Snake even knew that fact. If it came out to Snake, then I think Snake would have blasted Raditch, and that would have given him more ammo to destroy Raditch's career. I mean, I don't think Snake wanted to do it. I think Snake was just hesitant, but things have to happen. But yeah, the whole Snake and Spike thing, why would they have Snake cheat Spike? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Because, Snake was a decent character, and, he was the last good OG. I mean, they did every OG who came back to Next Gen dirty, in a sense. Even Shane in season 3. Like, Spike, okay, fine, but, Spike had some issues, and the writers couldn't find good roles for her after season 5. I mean, Snake was the only OG to stick around for a long time. I mean, it helped that Brogan was the executive producer, but still. Yeah, I mean, did they really have to do that to make Emma's eating disorder problems there? No, absolutely not. Emma's eating disorder thing was bad enough already. I mean, people forget that Manny actually asked Emma to help her lose weight for a role, and Emma helped her, and then they both lost weight at the same time. It's weird how Manny gets away with it. I don't think Manny should get away with it. It should have been said that, Manny was part of it. I feel like if Manny didn't do the eating thing, the losing weight thing with Emma, I think things would have been better. Although it must be said that Manny probably didn't figure that Emma was going to go overboard with it, and that's fair assessment, don't you think? So yeah, so that's hard pressed, and I still am sickened by that. Why would they make Snake cheat in season 5? I mean, after all, season 5 wasn't really the best season for storylines and all that. I mean, yes, Spitter's redemption song was great, and Emma dealing with her personality things, and the writers during her duty throughout season 5 and beyond. Like, they just changed Emma's character around. So yeah, it's a bit of a gripe for me, but take it as it is. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond.